Hello, dear friends. Among all of them, they killed her and she died alone. The victim is a very powerful lady called Mrs. Economy. Adventurers are looking for casino games like Agent 007's Baccarat, with which you can go broke or get rich, and cryptocurrencies are one of these games not suitable for Cadillacs. They can be El Dorado for those who know how to use them, or they can be ruin for those who do not. But there could be little speculation if governments restrict or ban them, as China has done. Opinion piece. Cryptoassets, Russian roulette. Doubts about cryptocurrencies. They could be like Russian roulette. Bankers express their misgivings. Private money collapses sooner or later. Most speculators are young. If you don't understand it, you get much more excited. Bitcoin could collapse if one fell swoop. They won. Bitcoin loses $100 billion in a week. The last month and a half has been eventful for Bitcoin. I repeat the phrase. The last month and a half has been eventful for Bitcoin. A lot of people have gotten rich speculating with cryptos, but it is still a very risky lottery game. Warren Buffett called them rat poison squared. John Paulson describes them as a limited supply of nothing. Ukraine passes law to legalize and regulate cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies can be El Dorado for those who know how to use them. Mexico, Sweden, and England's banks criticize cryptocurrencies. Central banks risk being overtaken by a digital world. El Salvador's digital Bitcoin wallet suffers technical problems. Swiss Exchange 6 gets go-ahead for digital asset marketplace. FBI releases new declassified document on 9/11 attacks. Let's start. Bitcoin could suddenly collapse as a poor store of value. Experts in the field warn. Some central bankers have begun to express doubt about the usefulness and volatility of cryptocurrencies after the world's leading cryptoasset has experienced ups and downs lately, especially in the last week, which has lost $100 billion. However, all this criticism may be self-serving, as central banks must press ahead with developing their own electronic currencies or risk being overtaken by a world going digital, according to the Bank of International Settlements. At the heart of the matter beats the truth that most crypto assets are such a fake as fiat money, because they are backed by almost nothing. But at least promissory notes are backed by a central bank, whereas a cryptocurrency is only backed by the trust of its buyers. And we have already seen that trust is something that is easily gained and lost, and more so now with the streams of fiat circulating the networks. Adventurers. Inexperienced young men are overrepresented in Bitcoin trading compared to the demographics of the investing world in general. Financial experts attribute this to the fact that young men are generally overconfident traders and are much more likely to rush into speculative tendencies than women or older investors who are more cautious and realistic. Russian roulette is a potential deadly game of chance that involves a player placing one or more bullets into a revolver drum, spinning the cylinder, placing the barrel to his or her temple, and pulling the trigger. It is usually played between two or more people and using a single cartridge. The objective is to survive and keep the money or the species of value to be played. You can win everything, but you can also lose everything. It's a game of suicide. Last year in Russia, it was possible to buy property of cars for cryptocurrencies. But the passing of the law of digital financial assets effectively banned the use of cryptocurrency as means of payment. Bitcoin crisis. The Bitcoin loses 100 billion in a tumultuous week. In more than 3 days, the Bitcoin has gone from reaching four-month highs and debuting as the official currency of a country to losing more than 100 billion euros in capitalization. Bitcoin retreats to lows. The largest cryptocurrency by market value fell as much as 3.2% to $44,760 during New York trading before pairing losses. Ether plunged as much as 6.5% to $3,210. The last month and a half has been eventful for Bitcoin. After an aggressive first quarter of 2021 that led to an all-time high of 63,000 per unit in mid-April, the world's leading digital currency is now hovering about 45,000 thanks in large part to sudden Tuesday drop of about 15%. Bitcoin is up more than 9% from a week low of $42,900 and is up more than 61% in year-to-date terms. Currently, the cryptocurrency is changing hands for around 46,840 after hitting a 24-hour high of 47,396. Advantages and disadvantages. Cryptocurrencies can be El Dorado for those who don't know how to use them and want to earn from them, but they can also be ruin for those who don't. The popularity of cryptocurrency is growing worldwide. In a few years ago, cryptocurrencies were used almost exclusively for speculative trading. Today, Bitcoin and some altcoin or alternative currencies are used as a means of payment of investment instrument. The next step towards the adoption of cryptocurrencies would be the creation of special markets where cryptocurrencies would be the main payment option. Even right now, cryptocurrencies are a means of payment. It is widely used by a large number of people, regardless of the level of material prosperity. For example, in developing countries in Africa, such as Nigeria, cryptocurrency are the most popular means of payment because digital transfers in them are much cheaper and faster than in local currencies. However, the lack of clear regulation in the cryptocurrency market and the peculiarities of some cryptocurrency brings it drawbacks. First of all, in the form of intermediaries or third parties, which might still be needed to exchange cryptocurrency for fiat money. It is a myth that cryptocurrency are the only payment option on the darknet. Fiat money is also widely used. Cryptocurrencies have no special benefits or properties that would be more attractive to use as a means of payment on the darknet. Most cryptocurrencies are neither extra anonymous nor more liquid than any other currency. The main goal of the cryptocurrency industry is to bridge the gap between buyers and sellers so that they can transact in cryptocurrencies directly without conversions and exchanges to fiat currency. It reduces costs and saves time. It erases geographical boundaries and eradicates opportunity boundaries. Criticism of cryptocurrencies. In quotes, I would not recommend anyone to invest in cryptocurrencies, said billionaire John Paulson. I would describe them as a limited supply of nothing, in quotes. So the price would go up to the extent that there was more demand than limited supply. But the price would go down to the extent that demand fell. There is no intrinsic value on any of the cryptocurrencies except that there is a limited quantity. The governor of Sweden's central bank, Stefan Ingves, said it could drastically collapse the value of the Bitcoin. He compared the digital currency to a philatelic collection of stamps, casting doubt on its validity and long-term viability. In quotes, private money collapses sooner or later usually, he said, adding, I'm sure you can get rich trading bitcoins, but it's comparable to trading stamps. Ingves said he would increase regulatory scrutiny of cryptocurrencies as the popularity of digital assets grows. Meanwhile, Bank of Mexico Governor Alejandro Díaz de León said Thursday that, in his view, Bitcoin is a tool for bartering rather than viable as legal tender. He described it as a poor store of value, arguing its wild price oscillation. In quotes, whoever receives bitcoins in exchange for a good service, we think it is more akin to barter, because that person is exchanging a good for a good, but not really money for a good. In quotes again, people won't want their purchasing power. Their salary go up or down 10% from one day to the next. You don't want that volatility for purchasing power. In that sense, it's not a good safeguard of value, said De León. He stated that Mexico wouldn't seek to adopt cryptocurrencies as currency, as El Salvador has done, given that he described as their flaws. According to the Bank of England's Director of Financial Technology, Tom Madden, the technology behind the central bank's digital currencies could be tens of thousands of times more efficient per transaction than bitcoins. Madden said in June, quote, given its performance shortcomings and energy inefficiency, it is by no means a relevant comparison for the kind of technology we might use in central bank digital currency. Technical problems. Excuse me. El Salvador's digital Bitcoin wallet suffers technical problems. For the fourth day in a row, technical glitches have plagued the Salvadoran government's Chivo digital Bitcoin wallet, a setback that could deter residents from signing up for the app promoted by President Nayib Bukele. El Salvador's Bitcoin law impacts remittances. El Salvador's new Bitcoin wallets could cost money-savvy providers like Western Union and MoneyGram $400 million a year in remittance fees, according to CNBC. Swiss exchange SIX gets go-ahead for digital asset market. Swiss stock exchange SIX, called SIX, received a regulatory approval from the financial market supervisor. It said Friday, paving the way for it to go live with the digital asset market. Ukraine passes law to legalize and regulate cryptocurrencies. Ukraine has become the latest country to legalize cryptocurrencies, just days after El Salvador adopted Bitcoin as legal tender. In a near unanimous vote on September 8th, Ukraine's parliament adopted a Cryptoassets bill legalizing cryptocurrencies and other digital assets in the country. The big question: does the recent sudden drop in Bitcoin mean that Warren Buffett is right to hate cryptocurrencies? What would the world's most famous investor say to those who might be thinking of getting their investment apps in gear and buying Bitcoins at a bargain price? It's probably rat poison squared contrary to the interests of civilization, Buffett once said. Berkshire vice chairman Charlie Munger said of it, in quotes, I don't welcome a currency that is so useful to kidnappers and extortionists. The whole damn development is repugnant and contrary to the interests of civilization. Close quotes. Not to be outdone, Buffett has made his share of extremely cutting comments about cryptocurrencies over the years. In quotes, I don't own any Bitcoin. I don't own any cryptocurrency. I never will. he told CNBC in 2020. 3 reasons. Here are 3 reasons Buffett wants to get near it. First, it has no unique value. The billionaire investor doesn't like Bitcoin because he considers it an unproductive asset. In quotes, they don't reproduce, they can't mail you a check, they can't do anything, and what you hope is that somebody else will come along and pay you more money for them later, but that person has the problem. In Buffett's view, the value of Bitcoin comes from optimism that someone else will be willing to pay more for it in the future than you pay today. But cryptocurrencies have no real value, Buffett said in 2020. He doesn't believe cryptocurrency. Second one, he doesn't believe cryptocurrency count as money. Money is supposed to be a medium of exchange, a store of value, and a unit of account, but Buffett calls it a mirage. It doesn't meet the test of a currency, the billionaire said. In quotes again, it's not a durable medium of exchange, it's not a store of value. He adds that it is a very efficient way to transmit money anonymously, but a check is also a way of transmitting money, he said. Are checks worth a lot of money just because they can't transmit money? Third one, he doesn't get it. Buffett became one of the most successful investors in history by staying with the stocks he understands. In quotes, I get in enough trouble with things I think now something about. Why on earth should I take a long or short position in something I know nothing about? But people like to grumble. If you don't understand it, you get a lot more excited about it than if you do. You can have anything you want to imagine if you just look at something and say, that's magic. Curious. FBI releases new declassified document on possible Saudi contacts on 9/11 perpetrators. Although several people who supported terrorists are named, there is no evidence that senior Riyadh officials were involved in the plot. The heavily redacted 16-page document in the summary of an interview given to agents in 2015 by a former worker at the Saudi consulate in Los Angeles. In it, the man, whose name is withheld, discusses individuals who, in his words, provided significant logistical support to 2 of the perpetrators. However, it contains no evidence that senior Riyadh officials were involved in the conspiracy. Dolphins have saved swimmers' life. Lifeboat crews off the coast of Ireland rescued a missing swimmer who had been stranded at the sea for about 12 hours after dolphins sounded the alert. They spotted a head above the water among a pod of dolphins, and then there are wretches who murder dolphins, who are smarter and kinder than we are. The first rock samples extracted by Perseverance rover on Mars reveal a potentially habitable sustained environment. Within the samples, which are likely to be volcanic, salts have been discovered that may contain small bubbles of ancient Martian water. The most accurate and complete simulation of the universe available. An international team of researchers has developed UCHU, the most realistic virtual simulation of the universe to date, using a Deri 2, the world's most powerful Japanese supercomputer, which was built to facilitate the understanding of astronomical phenomena from a theoretical point of view. Reflections. A Parallel Society by Andrew Torba. It seems that it will not be easy homeschooling your children, turning off the TV, deleting your Facebook account, spending more time with your children, moving to a better area, moving closer to people who share your values, getting involved in local politics instead of national politics, consuming content from people who share your values, and removing any of all corrosive systems of control and fear of society from your life. It won't be easy. Nothing worthwhile is, but many people can do it and are doing it in your exact position. The dark minds behind this seemingly inexplicable agony claim that the war will be justice for those who died, but the war is meant to create even greater negativity in an attempt to extinguish all light on the planet. The perpetrators want you to feel fear and hatred and demand justice, because they know that only by continuing their cycle of violence will they be able to maintain their control at this critical time of souls, choosing between light and darkness. An era is coming when all will come to light, and the people who pushed this are going to apologize to us and say the usual, that we are just following orders. Brainwashing and cognitive dissonance is as traditional as Taki and the blueberries, and relatives who are dumb. Just as Atlantis was swallowed by the sea, the sunken land will rise again. Purification. This is the moment you have been preparing for all your life. But Patricia Cota Robles, the Company of Heaven, is well aware of the myriad challenges facing people in the outer world during the greatly intensified purging process we are all experiencing. They are also aware of how difficult and painful this process is for the masses of humankind. But most importantly, they are aware that this cosmic moment in Earth's ascension process is exactly why you, I, and the rest of awakening humankind are incarnated on Earth at this time. We are in the midst of this purging process, and as the purification progresses, it may even appear to be outside the world as if things are getting worse before they get better. It is critical that each of us truly understand the profound truth that the only way to move forward is the light, is through this essential cleansing process. In the light, in the light. I repeated the phrase. It is critical that each of us truly understand the profound truth that the only way to move forward in the light is through this essential cleansing process. Consequently, there is no turning back. The show is ready by Stefan. If you look at everything from farther away or from a great height, you can see how all the threads which before were still far apart now slowly but surely converge on certain events. Tension and suspense increase noticeably as the final set of the show continues to be prepared. The individual strands converge, and we're still waiting for the first domino to fall. The coalition forces are already in place, and it just needs to be made official. For that, it needs an official reason, and it will come. So we should not panic when we are presented with something similar in the media. Things will heat up in strategically important areas, and the days of talking or negotiating with the other side are behind us. The coalition has played the role of a feeble negotiator for quite some time and given opportunities. Time enough. So, let's go into the few days with low expectation, but with conscious anticipation. Let's take some time for ourselves, for our family, for our pets. For once, let's not be surprised if it seems like not much is happening on a given day, but with the certainty that it can't go on like this for much longer, and that we will soon be rewarded for our patience and endurance. Energy download by Arcturian Council 9D. Now we want to prepare you for the next energy download you will receive very soon by letting you know that these energies are meant to grant you greater access to the power of your higher mind. Your higher mind is the mind of your higher self, and as you become your higher self, you will begin to think like your higher self. And so this download of energy that we are about to deliver will bring you into a more vibrational state of harmony with that particular aspect of your higher self. You will be able to access fifth-dimensional thoughts, ideas, concepts, and of course, beliefs, and this will allow you to free yourself from the limitations of the three-dimensional physical mind that has been a tool for the ego and ultimately needs to let go so that you can let in that which is of the higher mind. One of the ways you will be able to test whether you have fully benefited from this energetic release is to meditate more, but with the expectation that as you clear your 3D mind of all thought, it will also allow higher frequency thought. It will allow the entry of concepts, ideas and beliefs from your higher mind, and this will help you to move forward in your life with more confidence. Second, you will feel the resonance of those downloads and receive from your higher mind, and you will be able to make decisions based on what you are getting. Third, you will be able to feel more inner peace. Fourth, you will be able to put the things you have been putting off into some kind of actions. Fifth, you will be more effective in your actions and you will be more creative. I wish you all of this. Thanks a lot, dear friends.